Hello again. Now, the Western Cape appears to be dragging down the National Census Programme's progress. Stats SA says only 40% of the province's residents have now been counted. eNCA's Monique Mortlock is in the suburb of Goodwood. She's been speaking there to Stats SA and census workers. Good afternoon, Monique. What are they telling you? Why is it so slow to conclude the counting in the Western Cape?
That's exactly what we are hoping to find out today when we are going to be going on a walkabout with those census workers who have been doing important work since February, trying to get as many households counted as possible. I'm speaking now to Chief Director from Census SA, Patrick Kelly. Now, a little earlier this week, we heard that just over 40% of the Western Cape's population have been counted. But I believe you have some updated stats for us. How are we doing now?
Yeah, we've currently collected data from 52% of our expected households in the Western Cape. But I should say that this is still quite far behind the rest of the country. Most provinces have already finished collection at rates of between 85 and 95%. I think it's only KwaZulu-Natal that's still continuing this week a little bit just because of the floods.
And I believe that the deadline has now had to be extended just for the Western Cape.
Yes, in the Western Cape we're going to be continuing collection up until the end of April, the 30th of April. We have increased the number of field workers in the province, and they are going door to door through all the suburbs and neighbourhoods, through the cities and towns, farms, villages of the Western Cape to obtain the required information for the census.
And why do you think it's been such a slow uptake here in this province?
Yeah, there have been a number of factors, but I think that we could attribute one to the fact that we really struggled to recruit an adequate number of field workers. And in this game, if you don't have feet on the ground, it's a real challenge. We have also had higher levels of refusals, so there's people who don't want to answer the questionnaire in the Western Cape, and they have actually been increasing over the past few weeks. So really for us, it's really important for members of the public to welcome the field workers, to provide them with the information. It only takes 15 to 30 minutes, depending on the size of your household, to answer all the questions. And it's really, really important for communities, for governments, for businesses, so that you can know where services are required, where people are, what sort of age they are, what sort of education they have, what sort of assets or infrastructure they need.
Has violence been an issue at all, especially in areas where there have been recent shootings, like your Khayelitsha, Bishop Lavis, for example?
Yeah, absolutely. We do have problems in those areas, and some of them are real no-go zones. We do work with the local police who will advise us which areas are safe to go and which not, which times are safe and which are not safe. Crime is a problem, and it has also even impacted on some of our field workers who may have had their tablets stolen or in some cases cars hijacked. So it is certainly not an easy job for the field workers. They do go through personal risk, and so all the more important why we would ask residents of the Western Cape to respond to the questionnaire.
And just remind us quickly, how else can people be counted for those who may not wish to have that physical interaction with the field workers?
Yeah, very importantly, we have reopened our online link for self-enumeration. That means you can go to the website, which is getcounted.statssa.gov.za. You can just put in your name, cell number, you'll get a one-time password, and then you can start completing the questionnaire. It's really quick, really simple, much easier than it was when we first opened it in February. So if people don't want a field worker to come to their house and you want to do it in the privacy of your home, office, and in your own time, please do use the online link.
And just finally, give us a national snapshot. How many households have been counted?
Yeah, so we've counted about 14.5 million out of the estimated 17 million households around the country. So that is, kind of national average of just over 80%.
Thank you very much. That was Patrick Kelly, Chief Director from Stats SA, telling us there that just over 14 million, nearly 15 million households have been counted out of a possible 17 million households. Sounds like a high number, but obviously Stats SA was hoping to get even more. We will be venturing out with those census workers to see on the ground what type of problems they are facing, and also hopefully speak to some residents about why they may be reluctant to get counted.
Thank you very much there, Monique Mortlock. Hopefully the counting will progress a little bit further now. It's like over 50% now in the Western Cape, and they are still carrying on. And of course, you do have that online option. Use it, and it's going to help Stats SA. They need to know, they need to get the data so they can help. It can be used to plan properly for the future. One aspect, of course, why the census is important is not just to know how many we are, it's to know all sorts of information that will be helpful for the future.